this presentation we'll be looking at what you can do if you feel pressured by a Hampshire salesman. My name's Claire Bradley and this is a presentation by your Direct Eastleigh. Now Hampshire's a great county. You've got the beauties of the New Forest, the Solent, you've got big commercial centres in Portsmouth, Southampton, Winchester and Basingstoke. But despite all these advantages, there's too many instances of consumers being treated badly in the county. And the aim of this presentation is to inform consumers what they can do in those circumstances. So under EU and UK law, it's illegal for a trader in Hampshire to use marketing which plays on consumer security fears by overhyping the risk of crime for that particular area, to use persistent and unwanted selling tactics, to use aggressive doorstop selling. We've all had to deal with this, where somebody turns up at your doorstep and then refuses to leave or tries sticking their foot in the door. Using any form of pressure selling or using emotional pressure to get a consumer to buy something. So these are all illegal commercial practices and no consumer in Hampshire should be having to deal with any of these. So the aim of this presentation is to inform consumers that these sales tactics are illegal. They're not just annoying, they're also illegal. And they were made illegal by the Unfair Commercial Practices Directive, which came out in 2005. It was implemented into UK law by the Consumer Protection from Unfair Trading Regulations 2008. It identified 31 commercial practices which are automatically unfair and which no business can ever justify. It also made it illegal for traders to mislead consumers or treat them aggressively. And the sanction is a £5,000 fine and up to 2 years imprisonment. And the directors can be personally liable in this situation, which means that they personally can go to prison if consumers are treated in that way. Right, marketing which plays on Hampshire consumers' fear of crime. A lot of people have a fear of crime and security companies tend to tap into that when they're trying to sell their products. Now it's fine for a company to tell consumers in an informal way what the risk of crime is for that particular area. However, if they over-exaggerate or they take too wide a geographical area which skews the figures so that people have a misleading impression on the risk of crime for that particular area, then that's actually a criminal offence. So you have to be honest about the risk of crime for a specific area when selling security products. Persistent and unwanted selling is also illegal. So under EU law, it's illegal for people to bombard you with phone calls, emails, faxes or other remote media for products that you don't want. We also have in the UK obviously the telephone preference service which people can use, but this actually makes it a criminal offence for people to bombard you with sales calls for products that you have absolutely no interest in getting. Aggressive doorstop selling. Everyone's had to deal with this at some point. Someone turns up on your doorstep and basically won't leave when you make it clear that you're not interested. Now that's actually a criminal offence, and the best thing you can do is actually say to the person, look, I've told you to leave, you're not leaving, if you don't leave you're committing a crime and I'm calling the police, and then hopefully they'll get the hint and go. But it's against the law and the person concerned can, as I said, get a £5,000 fine or actually go to prison for 2 years if they indulge in this type of behaviour, so don't put up with it. Pressure selling is another illegal sales tactic, and this is where the trader gives the consumer the impression that they can't leave until a contract is entered into. This is a load of rubbish because basically whatever contract you enter into it, provided it's for legal goods or services, then it has to be a choice. It's something you choose to enter into. If that element of choice is taken away, you cannot be forced into a contract. And if you are, then A, under these rules it's a criminal offence, but it's also, that contract is no longer enforceable and you can actually apply to the court to get it annulled. So pressure selling and giving the impression that a consumer can't leave until a contract is entered into is actually a criminal offence. It's also against the law for a trader to give you a huge guilt trip that unless you buy their product, the salesperson will either lose their job or the business will go down the tubes, right? Then if a trader tries that, then they're breaking the law. particularly if you find out this is a load of rubbish and it's just a tactic to try and get you to buy something. Now, obviously, sometimes life does get in the way, and traders can become ill or get involved in accidents or anything like that, and that's fine, so long as you're not actually lying or trying to use emotional pressure as a way to trick people or guilt trip people into buying your products. So, using emotional pressure to sell stuff is illegal, it's against the law. Where you can go for help if you've been tricked by a Hampshire trader, your first stop is to contact your local trading standards officer. They're under a duty to act under these regulations, and they should be your first port of call. Hampshire Trading Standards can be contacted at Montgomery House, Monarch Way, Winchester, SO22 5PW. The phone number is 01962 833 620, or you can email them at tsadvice@hants.gov.uk. Now, consumers in Hampshire can get further advice by contacting the Citizens Advice Consumer Service, and this provides free, confidential and impartial advice on consumer issues. Their web address is www.adviceguide.org.uk. If you want to call them, the number is 03 454 040506, and obviously you can also contact us at European Law Monitor if you've got any questions regarding the information contained in these videos. The rights that you have under the Unfair Commercial Practices Directive are really powerful. It was the biggest shake-up to consumer law in about 40 years. Right, these practices are not just annoying, they're illegal, and they cost Hampshire consumers millions, if not billions of pounds every year. And in most cases, it's unnecessary for the consumer to actually be dealing with this kind of hassle, because the law is very much there to protect them. So if anyone tries any of this on with you, fight back, because the law is very much on your side. Thank you.